Well, if there's one thing you cannot blame Hyundai for, it is resting on their laurels. After having a very successful time with the original Verna in the Indian market, they have been under a lot of pressure from the Honda City as well as the Maruti Ciaz. And now the company has updated the Verna and launched this, the 4S Fluidic. So how good is it? We'll find out on the show today. The new Verna has actually been around as the Solaris in Russia for a while now. And in fact, Hyundai claims that this truly is a global product because it's sold in well over 60 countries across the globe. Well, the Verna has always been one of the style icons in this competitive segment, and the new generation car is sure to turn a lot of heads as well. The Verna now receives a dramatic facelift, and the car gets an all-new face to compete in this highly competitive segment. You get these new stretched headlamps along with the dramatic looking grille and plenty of chrome. You get a new bonnet as well, and all this makes the Verna truly stand out. The rear of the car remains largely unchanged except a slight modification to the rear lamps. With all these changes, the Verna now looks more premium and upmarket than ever before. Well, boot capacity is one of the most important things for mid-size buyers, and the Verna really does score good marks in this department. Now, it's officially 465 litres in terms of capacity, but as you can see, the opening is pretty wide, which means you can, of course, heave in that golf bag. And it's a very square-shaped boot, it's a very well-shaped boot, and there's very limited suspension intrusion into it. And all this really adds up to make it one of the better cars in terms of luggage carrying capacity in this competitive segment. So here I am now in the second row of the new Verna's seats, and legroom, as you can see, is more or less the same. Headroom is also pretty decent. Well, where Hyundai seems to have really worked hard on is in the fact that they have improved under-thigh support over here, and the other plus points, the cabin really has very good material. It really is one of the plusher cabins in this category. On the downside though, you still don't get any AC vents at the back, and that can be a bit of an issue. And legroom, as I just said, is decent, but again falls way behind rivals. And on the plus side, you of course get this lever, which you can use to move the front seat forward. This of course is a feature which chauffeur-driven owners will really appreciate. Well, Hyundai of course know that if you load up a car with a lot of equipment, people will just go out and buy it, and things are no different with the Verna. This car has the edge when it comes to equipment over its rivals, and of course you get the start-stop button, which is now obligatory in this segment. You also get climate control, you get Bluetooth connectivity for your stereo. But on the advantage side, where Hyundai really has the advantage, is this stereo, which also offers 1 GB of storage space, and you also get a mirror over here, which also offers you the rear view. It has a small section over here where you can of course see the rear view when you put it into reverse gear. Well, once you're in the front seats of the Verna, you will really appreciate the quality of the dashboard. It really is the best car in this segment when it comes to dashboard quality, and even the plastics on the lower end of the dashboard have a solid build to them, and they really do feel that they are made of top class materials. And just like most other Hyundai cars, equipment levels are absolutely top notch. In fact, the Verna is the best car in this segment when it comes to standard equipment, and that alone should ensure that a lot of buyers will go in for the new Verna. The new Verna comes with 4 engine options, 2 petrols and 2 diesels. We're driving the 1.6 petrol as well as the 1.6 diesel today. You can also choose a 1.4 litre option in both diesel as well as petrol. Like most Hyundai cars, both the diesel as well as the petrol options are supreme on refinement. The diesel excels in refinement. It really is the most silent engine in this category. Where the diesel also delivers is in power. Being the most powerful car in its class, this is one of the most punchiest motors you will find around in any segment. Power is brisk, and all you need to do is just drop a gear down for that brisk acceleration maneuver. Well, Hyundai seems to have worked hard on the suspension setup as well, and they have tightened it up quite a bit. The changes on the suspension are clearly visible when you push this car on the highway and do speeds in excess of 100 kph. The Verna now feels better planted and much more confidence inspiring at higher speeds than ever before. That light and airy feel which you associated with the earlier Verna is clearly gone now. It is a big improvement from the last generation for sure. But in terms of handling, the steering wheel is still ultra light in operation. And though the light steering wheel might not really appeal to the sporty variety, it clearly makes parking the Verna in a tight space a very easy affair. Well, the diesel version of the Verna comes with a 6-speed manual gearbox, and that really makes this engine even more flexible than it really is. All you need to do is just slot it in 6th gear and drive on the highway with minimum fuss. In fact, the engine is so quiet and refined that few passengers at the back seat will be able to tell it is a diesel and not a petrol under the bonnet. The Verna's ride quality is pretty good in the city as well, and it manages to keep most potholes at bay, while the Verna's gearbox on both the petrol and diesel is a cinch to operate. The light and precise throws, along with the fact that it is a very light gearbox, really makes it an easy job to operate these gears. Well, even though the Verna's legroom isn't as good as rivals and it doesn't have the boot capacity of both of them, it still offers a very convincing buy with its load of features, the punchy diesel engines, as well as that trusted brand name, making this car a convincing buy and a great comeback from Hyundai in this competitive segment.